from Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee on my coffee with the Gino cup. This is my Copico Blanca. Oh, I left the Copico Blanca. 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. Coffee, cream, and sugar. I normally have a packet here to show you guys what the packet looks like, but I left it inside. I was so focused on my malunggay pandesal this morning. I got me like freshly baked malunggay pandesal. I just came from the bakery, my favorite bakery in Numancia, Noni's cheese malunggay pandesal, and just the way I like it. I'm on my third pandesal. This is like, look at that crust on the top. When you open it, it's moist and warm inside. It's just like perfect malunggay pandesal for me this morning. I just took Mom and Leanna to church. They like going to church at 6 a.m. That's the time they like to go. So I took them to church, and then I picked up some malunggay pandesal. I like dipping my malunggay pandesal in my coffee. That's like perfect for me in the morning when I eat my pandesal. And my coffee is still nice and hot. I just poured the hot water in my coffee. So I have to be careful sipping it. I gotta be careful sipping it. Don't burn my tongue. I have done that. I have done that before. Burned my tongue. The weather is I'll start with the weather. I always start with the weather on my morning live streams. And I saw this morning that there is a low pressure area here in the Philippines right now. It's 900. Oh, that was Isang. Okay, my bad. That's the. All right, hold on. Yeah, right there. It says low pressure area was estimated based on all data 445 east of Surigao del Sur. And then the southwest monsoon, of course, the southwest monsoon, the Habagat is still affecting us here in the entire Philippines, pretty much, for Habagat season. Habagat season is monsoon rains. It just rains more starting about July to about end of October. It rains more in the Philippines here because of Habagat. And that's normally like the trajectory. A lot of the typhoons, storms, you name it, they come from like the Pacific Ocean and hits like Eastern Visayas. We're in Western Visayas here, but as you can see, we got clouds. We're gonna get rain today. We're gonna get rain today for sure. We're gonna get rain here in a minute. We're gonna get rain here in a minute here. But like in Eastern Visayas, Central Visayas, Northern Mindanao, Davao region, it's got the low pressure area is affecting them. Cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms. Palawan is going to be affected by the southwest monsoon, and the rest of the country, localized thunderstorms. That's what we're getting here right now. It's like localized thunderstorms here in Numancia, Aklan. We're in Western Visayas. Right now, the temperature is about 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Let me show you like the weather here, our weather here locally. Usually this time of the day, I'm getting like nice sunrise. No sunrise this morning. Right there is where I usually can view our sunrise, right at that spot. But today, no sunrise. A lot of clouds here. Looks like we're gonna get rain. Looks like this one right here. Looks like that's gonna be that's serious rain clouds there. I actually hear thunder in the distance. But this is our neighborhood here on a Sunday, 6:16 a.m. Quiet. It's always quiet in our neighborhood. We live in Camellia, Aklan. This is a gated community here in Numancia, Aklan. Always quiet here in our neighborhood. No roosters. You can hear the birds even. Right there, lots of birds flying around. No roosters crowing in the morning. We do not have stray dogs here in our community. People always ask me that, how can I stand all the stray dogs? How can I stand all the roosters? And as you can see, this is our house right here. We do not have any roosters or stray dogs in our community. Not even tricycle, those public transportation tricycles. We also don't get those in our community here. There's our car. We have a Toyota Wigo, 2019 Toyota Wigo. Really nice car. I really enjoyed driving this car. Real economic car, 3-cylinder, gets good gas mileage. And there's my tricycle. We call our tricycle Bumblebee. I had that sidecar custom built. And I have a 125cc Yamaha Mio I on the tricycle. Today I'm gonna talk about like province life. That's what I'm gonna talk about today. I usually try to have a topic to talk about. And when I talk about province life, I'm gonna be talking about specifically Aklan province because that's what I know. I've been living here now in Aklan province for 14 years. I moved here to the Philippines 14 years ago. I'm a retired United States Air Force. I have a pension. I have a military pension from the United States Air Force. Monthly pension, and that's what I've been living off. I retired here in 2011 when I was 45. I'm now 59. I'm now 59 years old. So I've been enjoying my retirement here in the Philippines for the last 14 years. It's been a great retirement here in the Philippines because I don't have to work. That's the main thing. It's like I do not have to work. Parundra, hey, all right. Hello, Parundra. Ariana, hey, hi, Ariana. Thank you for joining the live stream. I normally do my live streams like at 7:30 a.m. Our time here in Aklan province, but today I did it earlier because here in the Philippines, even though it's cloudy like this, if I start my live stream around 7:30, if it gets to be around 9 a.m., it starts warming up here. It gets warm here pretty fast. Hot and humid. Hot and humid is the temperature, the thing here in our Aklan province. That's funny, Daniel. Where are you from? All right, Ariana. I'm from, originally I was born and raised in the Philippines. Then I moved to the United States when I was 12. Lived in the United States for about 30 years. Like I said, I did 20 years active duty in the military. I worked a few more years. Then finally I decided to move back to the Philippines and retire when I was 45. So I've lived my life half in the United States, half here in the Philippines. I'm dual citizen. I'm a citizen of the United States, and I'm also a citizen of the Philippines. That's why I'm able to stay here in the Philippines. I don't have to worry about visas. I have a certificate that says I'm also a citizen of the Philippines. Good morning. Hey, good morning, John. Salve and Maggie. Hello, Maggie. Hello, Maggie. That's why, the Boracay, the day trip. Yeah, John, that's why I always tell people, when they want to meet me, so I can always make a day trip to Boracay. Like when I drop off Liana at school at 7, if I leave Leanna's school at 7, by 8:30 I could be at Front Beach, so I could be meeting somebody for breakfast and then just spend the whole lunch even, and then just spend the whole day and then leave in the afternoon and be back at our house. So it doesn't take me long to go to Boracay, about an hour and a half total. Between the drive, it's like 1 hour and 15 minutes, depending on how fast I drive. I try to drive slow, and then 15 minutes on the ferry. You saw the ferry ride. I enjoy all that though. So to me, going to Boracay, even on the day trip, all that is fun for me. Because I get to see the ocean, I get to see the beach. I didn't even film the part when I was walking on Front Beach. I should have, but I was with a friend, my friend from Atlanta. He was with me on that trip actually, but he's shy. He's like camera shy, and I never want to pressure people when I do videos, even especially my friends. You know, I don't. If my friends, I always ask my friends, it's like, hey, I'm gonna film, so if you don't want to be in it, let me know, and then I make sure I don't film them, because I don't, I respect everybody's privacy. Same thing with people. You see me when I film, I'm trying to avoid filming people's faces and all that. You don't want to see that anyway, right? You want to see like the scenery. You want to see the ocean. You want to see the beach. You want to see the on the main road, like when I'm riding on the main road. You want to see like what does Boracay look like, And my friend actually, he was telling me he was surprised, when it was his first trip to Boracay. He's never been to Boracay. He's seen videos, but he didn't realize how big Boracay is. He was thinking it's a tiny island. We're gonna go there, lots of tourists. But you know, to me, Boracay is almost like a little city. You got that main road, hotels. It's not small. There's several barangays in Boracay: Barangay Manok Manok, Barangay Balabag, Barangay Yapak. You got several beaches: Tambisaan Beach, Ilagan Beach, Angol Beach, Yapak, Puka Beach. You have a White Beach, of course, the longest beach in Boracay, about 5 kilometers long of beach. The back beach, Bulabog Beach. So, lots of places, lots of things to do in Boracay. So much fun. Like me, I never get tired of Boracay. To me, I always tell this, it's like Boracay is my happy place. It's like when I'm in Boracay, I'm just happy. I like the vibe when I go to Boracay, even for a day trip. People are just happy. It's their vacation a lot of times. Boracay is their vacation. So when you're walking around Boracay, people are just happy, laughing, taking selfies, doing jump shots on the beach. I like that vibe. I never get in a bad mood when I'm in Boracay. I'm like just looking around and you see people just acting silly on the beach. It's their vacation. To me, it's always fun. It's my happy place on earth. I always say Boracay is my happy place on earth. All right. See, John said the same thing. Always enjoy Boracay videos, right? I'm the same way. I always. I want to give a quick shout out. My friend gave me this. It's nice. It's like we used to wear this on the beach a lot at nighttime, especially. It's got a hoodie. It's even got a hoodie. My friend gave it to me. This one is a brand called the Ocean Coast. That's why I remember wearing stuff like this. It's like dry fit almost. It's like a nice material. When I used to surf in California, so this is kind of like the beach wear at nighttime that we used to wear. My good friend Don and his wife Raquel. That's the reason I went to Boracay Island, was to meet up with them. They're just so nice. It's like they gave me a care package. I mean, I got like a gigantic bag of Twix. Twix is one of like my favorite chocolate. Dazzle's got a big bag of a Kit Kat, and then Leanna's got a big bag of gummy bears, and then Jelly Bellies. It's like I was just like blown away. And then this shirt, he gave me this hoodie shirt. I love it. I love this hoodie shirt. I'm gonna be like wearing this all the time now, especially when it's like cloudy and rainy. I like wearing that. Thank you again, Don, and Raquel. They're from Georgia. They were visiting Boracay from Bacolod, and I was just so touched, man. So grateful that I seem to meet so many good people, and that's why I continue doing YouTube because of just the amount of people, the good people that me, my family are meeting is just amazing. Like yesterday, we did a quick. Did a quick live stream from Axam Resort. Our friend again from Atlanta. He's been our guest, he's been kind of part of our family now. Every time we do something, I'll just text my friend again. Hey man, you want to go, man? Because he's by himself here. He's checking out Calibo. He doesn't have family here in the Philippines. He's trying out the Philippines, and then just learning, and he's asking me multiple questions, and I'm more than happy to assist my friend. And yesterday I invited him because we were going to go swimming. That was a treat for Liana because Liana was busy with schoolwork this past week, and then she started Kumon. So that's another thing she has to do for a couple of hours a day. Activity in Calibo, and then at home she had homework. So I added more tasks for Leanna for schoolwork. So that was her treat. I told her I was going to take her swimming this weekend. So she was really happy. And then perfect weather yesterday. But see, as you can see, the weather here in the Philippines changes on a dime. Like yesterday, bright, sunny. We were putting a lot of like sunscreen. We were worried about sunburn, trying to hide by the shade while we were swimming. But today, look at the skies. It's gonna be a downpour here in a second. It's gonna be like torrential rain here in a minute. Salamat. You're welcome. You're welcome, John. Salve and Maggie. Hello, Maggie. Thank you for always watching, Maggie. I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And you and Leanna, I know when you come here and visit us, I know you guys are gonna get along. Leanna's like we call her our little mermaid. Leanna loves to swim, so I'm sure Maggie, you'll be swimming in the water. We'll do activities in the water when you get here in Panay Island. Ariana, wow, okay, all right, Ariana. Hello, awesome bro. All right, hey, awesome bro. Cool. That's awesome. Pezza, Steve. All right. Oh, Belus. I haven't seen you in a while. I know you're busy, Belus. I see your photos in Wyoming. Awesome, man. You're like so blessed living in God's country. Is what I call Wyoming. Good morning, 59. Ooh, nice and cool. Here, not too bad. I mean, 80 is like, Belize, 80 degrees is considered cool in the Philippines. That's why I got like long sleeves. I got a hoodie and I got my coffee here. I know fall season, and I know it's going to start getting cooler and cooler in Wyoming. For us, within this month, lots of, oh man, I know, I was like, I'm looking at the photos that you're sharing, man. I can see the leaves turning already. It's like multiple color on the leaves. I just remember that, when I was in the U.S., it's just amazing. That time of the year, fall, it's like from summer to fall. It's like a amazing time. Enjoy that, and you are blessed. You are blessed. And stay safe, man. No, don't be burning your foot and everything, man. Just stay safe. You be careful. We're not young anymore, man. So I understand, man. Our reflexes aren't the same anymore. So got to be careful. Brother. Take care, Belus. Oh, Dr. Gray, my good friend. Gino, Gino's villain origin is always good to hear. I'm a villain. All right. Now, my brother Gray, he always, me and him always chat. He always gives me a hard time. He calls me the worst wingman ever. And he's probably right. Because we were hanging out in Boracay, and I was a terrible wingman. Because, like, I don't know anything about dating anymore. I haven't dated in many, many years. I haven't really gone out at clubs at many, many years. And Dazzle, myself, and Gray, we were like hitting the clubs in Boracay, and Gray told me, "Man, you are the worst wingman ever." Good, you're beautiful, man. You're beautiful. You're crazy, Gray. Ariana, you have a lot of positive and good energy. Yeah, man. To me, I've always had that. More so now, Ariana. I think if you haven't watched, no, you're pretty new on our channel. If you haven't watched, I was diagnosed with cancer Valentine's Day 2023. I'm 2 years now being cancer free. So for me, I think that's why, I just have a zest for life. It's like every time I wake up in the morning, I'm just happy. It's like when you go through like cancer treatments, when you go through the chemo treatments, radiation treatments, those are like horrible things. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. It's like the most horrible things that I experienced in my life. When you go through that, it changes you. It makes you just appreciate everything. I don't take anything for granted. My friends, my family, my relationships with people, I do not take anything for granted. It's like I always make an effort to say, I love you to the people that I love. It's like nothing is guaranteed in life, and I know that. My cancer can come back at any time, any day. Tomorrow, my cancer could be back. So I just want to live like to the fullest. I just want to live my best life now. It's like when people want to hang out, when they tell me, "Hey, let's go do this," I'm like, "Let's go." It's like, because a couple of years ago, I was bedridden. I was like, could barely move, could barely like, so for me now that I'm able to walk again, to hang out with people again, to go swimming, yesterday we were swimming, all that to me is a blessing. It's like, for me, it's like a second chance in life. That's why, when I wake up, I'm just happy. It's like I have energy. I'm positive because to me, life is just a blessing. We got to embrace life. We just got to enjoy life. All the negativity, all the craziness in the world, just like you got to like remove that from your life and just enjoy each day. Hey, my good friend, my good friends, James and Karen from James and Karen's Adventure. Their adventure right now. They're in Masbate. Masbate. They hopefully coming back. James, you guys don't get hit with this weather, man. It's like hopefully clear ocean. No waves. No twisters. No water spouts. Stay safe, James. We want you and Karen back in Aklan in one piece, man. Can't wait for you guys to head back. I'm sure we'll see each other when you guys get back. We'll do something, man. And then, Lara's birthday is coming up, so I'm sure everybody's gonna be at Lara's birthday in Rojas City. Michelle. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, Belus Traveler. All right. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Oh, nice, Michelle. Thank you for joining the live stream. Thank you. Our viewers from James and Karen's Adventure and mine, it kind of intertwines. There's like people that watch their live stream. I watch their live. They watch our live stream. So everything is kind of like. Oh wow, OFW for Missouri. All right. I can see why James is from that area. I can see why you would be. James got a lot of experience in farming. A lot, it's like he knows all that stuff. Hello, and right there. Hello, Michelle. Hello, Michelle. You're crazy. You're crazy. I'm not famous, man. I'm not famous. All right, I'm gonna keep talking about like my topic today. I tried to have at least one topic. That way you get some information from me. Today I was going to topic, my topic is living in the province and here in the Philippines. Big difference between living here, when you live in that, when you say people moving to the city, usually the city that people move here in the Philippines, they go to Manila, Cebu City, Davao City, Dumaguete City, Angeles City, Iloilo City. Those are, Rojas City. Those are like the cities that people go here. There's a big difference when you live in a city and then when you live in the province. I will be comparing it to like me. I've been living here in Aklan province now for 14 years. So that's how I compare. And I've traveled all those cities that I mentioned, except Davao. I haven't been to Davao City. I have been, I've visited multiple cities here. The biggest thing is like, if you want to replicate or kind of similar to your life in a developed country, like let's say you're coming from Canada, you're coming from England, United States, or Australia, the city a lot of times offers you that. It would offer you that lifestyle of like what you had in a developed country. Condominiums, that's kind of like when you go to the cities here, that's the first thing you'll notice. It's like the Philippines, lots of condominiums on those areas. 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, penthouse, yeah, swimming pool, gym, all that is available to you in the city. And then you got your restaurants. All that will be available to you. Texas Roadhouse, TGIF, just like a lot of the fast food areas, Wendy's, Burger King, it's almost like for me when I moved, if I had moved to the city, it would be similar to my life when I was in the United States, even my last years in Tucson, Arizona, had I gone to the city here. But with the city, you got that congestion in the city. You have traffic, unfortunately pollution. It's like Manila, one of the poorest air quality that you'll find. Because we still have diesel jeepneys, diesel buses. So when they plow the streets of Manila, they're just like blowing black smoke at you. So if you got like pulmonary issues, if you got asthma, anything like that, Manila's not for you. You need to stay away from the city because of the pollution. That's going to harm you if you live there. That's why a lot of people, like me, I lived in the cities most of my life. Manila, I was born and raised in Tondo, Manila is where I was born. I lived in Quezon City. I went to school at Letron College in Intramuros, Manila. So my first 12 years of life, I was in Manila. So I know that city life. And then I moved to Southern California. I lived in Long Beach. I graduated high school in Long Beach. So I've been around city. But a lot of times when we get older, especially for me, that is not what I was looking for when I was looking for retirement. When I was looking for retirement, I was looking for a more rural life, away from the city, away from the noise. That's what I value the most. And I know we're not all the same. That's why, I just wanted to do that like a background, like a background. We're not all the same. I understand that. There's just people that, hey, I gotta have my swimming pool, man. I gotta have my gym. I gotta have my condo, my hot water. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, it just turned out like that. That I lived most of my life in the city, but now I really enjoy. I really like. To me, waking up in the province is just a blessing to me. And the next thing I was going to talk about is like, even in the province, when you say province in the Philippines, to me, there's like different levels of province. It's not, and I'm going to explain that in a minute here. Let me take a sip of coffee, man. Ooh, it's starting to, I can hear the raindrops now, raindrops. I'm okay here because I have this, I built this little a tricycle port for Bumblebee. I usually park Bumblebee here when we have to store Bumblebee if we had to like leave. So I'm protected here. I'm not gonna get rained on in here. Let me just lift this up. That way I can start walking there. I still have areas in here where I'm not going to get hit by the rain. Yeah, I can stand by the front of my house. And the, the thing I was going to discuss when I say there's different levels of life in the province is just like my neighborhood here. I live in a gated community. All the houses here are solid structures made of cement. Uh, our houses here are all kind of similar. There's some motif here at Camellia Aklan. It's called the Mediterranean look. So as you can see, the houses here, we all kind of look similar. There's even like colors here, like this brownish kind of color, yellowish kind of beige kind of color. You can't color your house here like pink or blue. We have an HOA here, a homeowners association. If you have to build anything on your property, you have to get permission. Like if I had wanted to build like a balcony here, that's what usually people do, like this space that I have here. I can build one of those balconies right there to park my car under. I have to get permission from the homeowners association. So this is one level of living in the province. You can find a gated community like pretty much in Panay Island, we have like this is Aklan province. There's gated communities here in Aklan province. If you go to Iloilo, there's gated communities in Iloilo. There's Camellia Sabanas one. If you go to Rojas City, there's a community like this. It's called Camellia Rojas. So there's communities like this. But you still are living in the province because the minute you walk out the community, like us here, the minute I walk out, there is a 7-Eleven now. It's kind of nice that we have 7-Eleven outside. But the minute I drive Bumblebee, our tricycle right there, the minute I go out the community here, I'm seeing rice fields. It's mostly rice fields around Numancia area. This subdivision right here, Camellia Aklan, was actually part of the rice fields before. They built this community, they built this subdivision on the rice fields. So back in the day, all this area was just rice fields, but now it's a gated community. So that is one way you can live in the province. The next way you can live in the province, like the minute you walk outside of Camellia Aklan, the houses right outside, what people like about it is you can build anything. There is no HOA. You could see houses here like in Aklan. It could be side by side. It could be one house is made of bamboo and nipa. The next house is like a mansion. It could be like a 4 or 5 bedroom house next door to it. There's no rules when you're outside a gated community. Oh, it's starting to rain here. I can really feel the rain now here. I'm shaded here. I'm kind of like I have an overhang here, so I'm not getting wet. Let me go back to my spot. That way, the rain here is picking up. The rain is picking up. So let me hide in my spot here. A lot of people, it's like, I know a lot of people prefer, not living in a gated community because like the people right outside our gate, they're allowed to have roosters. They're allowed to have the chickens, pigs, you name it, animals. They're allowed, they can plant any trees that they want. Like here in our gated community, they don't want you planting like a mango tree. Because when a mango tree grows, it grows big. And the roots would be like damaging like the roads here, or even maybe the sewage system here. That's why they have rules like that. But when you live outside the gated community here in the province, man, you can plant whatever you want to plant, whatever you want to raise. I mean, I've seen people have all kinds of animals, like cows, carabaos, rabbits, you name goats, yeah, you name it. You're allowed to do that. You're allowed to do that when you're not living in a gated community. So that's one part where a lot of people prefer that when they're living outside a gated community. And then here in the province, there's also people that live, if you want to remote, it's like what I call like deep, deep province living. I mean, and there's people that do that. I actually know expats even. Like I know in Antique, Pandan Antique, one of my friends, he used to be from Colorado. Man, he lives like way up in the mountains. He doesn't have a neighbor, where he lives. It's like it takes him a while to get up the mountain, but he prefers it that way. And that's the other type of like what I call like deep, deep province living. And you know, like I said, you have that choice. You have that option to do that. There's and people do that, and I can see. For me, like I said, the older I get, the more I kind of embrace. I kind of like that kind of life because I like the peacefulness of it. I like the, you're out there on your own. You got a lot of like, usually you got like a lot of jungle, a lot of land around you. So I can see why people fall in love, with that kind of lifestyle. That's why it's like for Aklan province. I've always been saying this about Aklan province. This is like one of the gems here in the Philippines. Undiscovered gem for many because like even my friend, my best friend in Hawaii, when I introduced him to Aklan, I introduced him to Boracay Island. He said, man, I've never heard of these places. Where are you going, bro? He's like, where are you gonna live, bro? It's like because I told him back in 2010, man, I'm gonna go live in Boracay. I'm gonna go to Aklan province, and it's like, where is this place, brother? But now he's been here a few times, and now he even tells me, man, I can see why you fell in love with that place. I can see why you decided to like. Just change your life completely. I came when I moved here in 2011. I was living in Tucson, Arizona before here. 7 years I was working at St. Mary's Hospital in Tucson, Arizona. To come to the Philippines, it's like total 180 for my life. It's like I was busy working in hospital. I had to drive to work every day, traffic, that kind of thing. Desert, it's like anybody that's been to Arizona, it's all brown in Arizona, cactus, not much greenery in California, in Arizona. Then I moved here to Aklan province, and it's totally different environment. What I really enjoy here in Aklan is the peacefulness. It's like even now, I wake up in the morning, I do this live stream, I don't hear anything. If I pause for a minute, I might hear some birds. I might hear some birds, and I like that. That's to me, for me anyway. That is what retirement is all about for me. Peaceful life, a stress-free life. I can just wake up. My military pension is more than enough money that I need here. I lived a comfortable life. I save money every month. Dazzle, my wife, Leanna, and mom, we have a good life. It's like, and we're all grateful for that. We're all like, I always tell them, it's like, let's just enjoy, and we have, it's like every, of course, there's times where when, Dazzle, mom, or Leanna, they're not in the mood, and we always just tease each other. And next thing you know, they're laughing. So to me, it's like I just love the dynamic, the dynamic of our life here. Marivic Delfino. We always watch you guys. Oh, thank you, Marivic. I appreciate that. I'm sure James and Karen too. I mean, I watch them all the time too. I love watching James and Karen. They're like amazing people. What I always tell people, you always kind of wonder when you see YouTubers, when you see how are they in real life, because a lot of times you see a YouTuber, are they really like that in real life? And I will guarantee you guys, James and Karen, they're the authentic, they're the genuine people, man. That's why, I already consider them like part of my family, part of my, it's like I know James and I will be friends forever, man. Just because, yeah, they're genuine people, and I love hanging out with people like that, because, unfortunately, I think we all experience this one time or another. Yeah, you meet people that you think they are your friends, but they're like stabbing you in the back. I mean, I've had those. We've all had those, right? We've all had those type of people in our life. So to me, when I meet genuine people, I just want to be around them. It makes me happy. It makes me smile. It's like when I'm around them, because you can tell they're just good people. See you in September. All right, all right. All right. Hopefully, Michelle, hopefully we see you in September. In Leyte. Oh wow, in Leyte. All right, Leyte. I haven't been to Leyte. I know I would love to go someday to Leyte. I know that's where like the Douglas MacArthur monument, the one walking, the statues walking. I would love to get my, that's kind of like a bucket list. I want, I'm military, of course, so anything military, it's like that's a bucket list item for me. Yep, let's visit. Yeah, Douglas MacArthur, man. That would like be awesome. That would be awesome. Looking snazzy. All right, looking snazzy, man. It's a gift, great, a gift from Don, one of our friends now, friends from Georgia, near Atlanta, Georgia. So I got this hoodie, man. I love it, man. I love wearing these hoodies, and reminds me of my California days. This was like the clothes I used to wear, like nighttime in California. Other island. Oh yeah, I'm sure, Michelle. I'm sure lots of islands to visit in Leyte. I mean, there's lots of islands everywhere, right, in the Philippines, but there's always hidden islands that you never hear of, and then when you go, it's like white sand, perfect white sand, nobody in there, like here, Boracay Island, of course, is famous, but not far from Boracay Island, if you go to Antique Province, probably from Boracay, I would say to Colasi is the town in Antique. I would say takes about 2 hours from Boracay. So if you want to take that tour trip to Colasi, and from Colasi, it's about a 20 to 30-minute boat ride to Mararison. It's called Mararison Island. Amazing island. That island's like I've been to several islands in the Philippines, and Mararison Island probably has one of the best sandbar. I swam in that sandbar. It's just amazing. It's like white sand, of course, but the sandbar like calm. It could be there could be waves outside the island, but on that sandbar, perfect like swimming pool type swimming. And then you can do some hiking on Marison Island, get to the top of, there's a mountain there on top, and you get like a 360-degree view of everything. It's like an amazing place, amazing place. If you go to Panay Island, I recommend that to people to visit Mararison Island. Mason Taylor, what time is it where you are? Right now, Mason, it's 6:55 a.m. 6:55 a.m. here. It's my morning time, drink my coffee. And I like starting the live stream a little early. I usually start it at 7:30, but I like it on the weekends. I can start it earlier because Leanna doesn't have school. And when I start the live stream, it doesn't get so hot by the time I end it. Because normally when I end the live stream like at 9:30, it's already hot and humid here. I'm already sweating before I even end the live stream. But right now, it's like still cool enough here. Not gonna sweat this morning. Marivic, hi Gino, my friend Ruben talks about you. Oh, all right, Ruben. Yeah, Ruben, he's in San Diego right now, but he'll be back in September. I actually have a balikbayan box in my house right now with Ruben. It was a balikbayan box that Ruben sent to him, and he sent it to my house. So in my tiny house, I got like a big balikbayan box there for Ruben. Ruben's like he's like a brother to me now. He's my brother from Hawaii. I sub you. Oh, thank you, thank you, Marvic. So I'll see Ruben again. He's on vacation right now in San Diego, but he'll be here. I think first week of September. So he's gonna be back soon. Ruben's been living here since January, and I helped Ruben get his bank account here. His what else? His driver's license. I took him to the LTO. Ruben's got a senior card now in the Philippines because Ruben was born in the Philippines, but he left the Philippines when he was 5 years old. And then he never came back here for 60 years. Ruben didn't come back here. Hawaii and then the United States. So, but now he's living here in Calibo. He lives in Calibo. I found him his apartment in Calibo. I love your accent, sir. All right, thank you. Thank you. Which part of the Philippines are you, sir? We live in Western Visayas. If you look at the map of the Philippines, you have Luzon. It's like the top portion of the Philippines, Luzon. Visayas is like the middle, lots of islands in Visayas, and then Mindanao. We live in like the Visayas region, and we live in Western Visayas. Western Visayas is made up of our provinces here, Panay Island. This is a big island here, Panay Island. And in Panay Island, you have Aklan Province, you have Capiz Province. That's where Rojas City is. That's where Michael and Kat, That Philippines Life, the Canadian Beaver, that's where they live in Rojas City. Only about less than 2 hours away from our house. That's why we're able to visit them in Rojas City. And then you got Iloilo Province. A lot of bloggers, Frank and Fel, our friends Frank and Fel, they live in Iloilo City. And then Antique Province. So those are the provinces here in Panay Island, Western Visayas. And then another popular, famous islands here in Western Visayas is Guimaras Island, known here in the Philippines as the best mangoes. Guimaras mangoes are like the best delicious mangoes in the Philippines. And then you got Guimaras Island, Panay Island, and also Negros Island. Negros Island is where Bacolod City is, and also Dumaguete City. So those islands, they compose of Western Visayas. That's why it's great. It's a great, to me, especially now they're building bridges to connect the three islands. They're gonna connect Panay Island with Guimaras Island, and Guimaras Island with Negros Island. So the three islands, the major islands here in Western Visayas, they're gonna connect it by bridge. Once that happens, man, tourism and everything will just boom here. Because for me, this is one of the best, just for me, best regions in the Philippines. One thing I like about the Visayas region here in the Philippines, some of the humble people, kindest people that you'll meet in the Philippines. Far different from like where I grew up. I grew up in Manila. I grew up in Quezon City. You got to be street smart where I grew up. It's like growing up in the city like Metro Manila. You become street smart early. It could be rough. It could be rough for people that aren't used to that. Like let's say you're in the United States and you're coming from like the South in the United States, or my friend Wyoming. You're coming from Wyoming, God's country, and you land in Metro Manila. It could be overwhelming because Manila is almost like New York City. That's what I would compare. What I would compare Manila. It's you got to be street smart. It's like a lot of stuff going on when you go to Metro Manila. probably in the, it's safe in a way, but you got to be really careful, walking around at night, just you got to be alert. You got to be alert all the time in Manila. Like even at me, when the few times, I try to avoid Manila now as much as I can. But the few times that I had to go to Manila to the embassy, I had to go to the embassy. I had to get my COVID shot at the VA in Manila. With Dazzle got her COVID shot at the VA in Manila. Uh, it's just tough because you have to always watch your wallet. A lot of pickpockets. You have to watch your bag. A lot of snatchers. I mean, they'll just grab your bag and run. That kind of thing. It's like I don't have to deal with that living here in the province. I've never had 14 years here living in the province. I don't even worry about that. I leave stuff around the house here, outside my house. Nothing gets stolen here. My friend and I actually from Atlanta, we were in Boracay. He left his bag at the food court at City Mall, Boracay. We had gone upstairs to check out the pickleball, check out the movie theater. He goes, "Oh man, I left my bag." He goes, "I left my bag, at the food court." So we went back downstairs, and I wasn't even worried. I know somebody would have found this bag, turned it into like lost and found, and we would get it. And sure enough, the security guard had his bag. In the province, you don't have to worry about. It's safer in the province. That's the word I was trying to find there. Obi, my good friend Olsen, Aliyah, and Isaiah. Hello, Isaiah. Hello, Isaiah. Magandang umaga, kapatid. Magandang umaga. Good morning, everyone. Currently, 74. Here, earlier when I started, it was 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And now there's like raindrops here on my overhang here in Colombia. Getting cooler. Oh, getting cooler. It was cooler earlier. Now, at least if the sun's not up, the temperature should be around 80, 82, the whole time of the live stream here. Because looks like we're going to get rain for most of the day today. No sunshine here today, which is okay. It's like it's actually this is supposed to be like rainy season. So yesterday, I'm glad I took Leanna swimming yesterday. I'm glad we did that at Agsam because we would not have been able to swim today. I mean, they'll let you. You can swim in the rain here. They'll let you swim in the pool in the resorts, but it was just more fun in the sun yesterday. Jason G. Hi, Kuya. Hello. Jason G. James. All right. Hopefully, we can come back on Monday. We are ready for it. LOL. Just stay safe, James. James and Karen. We want you back here in Aklan safely. I know you're gonna be ready for anything because here in the Philippines this time of year. If you're taking like boat trips, out in the ocean, ferries, island hopping, it's just like you never know what to expect. It's like the weather here just turns so fast. You could start out like it almost like it reminds me of Gilligan's Island. That 3-hour tour. Like the 3 hour. It could be like a tour. You're like sunny weather. You get on a boat. And then you're in the boat, and next thing you know, like 30 minutes later, there's a squall. There's like rain. There's like wind. It can turn like that here during Habagat during rainy season. So, Michelle, thank you po. Come and visit. All right, salamat, Michelle. Thank you. Salamat for the invitation, Michelle. If we're ever Dazzle na, if we're ever like headed to Leyte, we will take you up on your offer, Michelle. Salamat po. Yes, James is my coworker. Oh, okay, that's what I figured. That's what I figured. James was your coworker in Missouri. How did you end up in America po? All right, great question. My mom was a business person here in the Philippines. Growing up, my mom was single mom. It's like I never knew my father. It's like mom raised me. She was a single mom. Mom was like she graduated from Far Eastern University in Taft in Manila. Um, she had like a business mind. My mom was like a good businesswoman. Um, she had like a sewing company, sew dresses, shorts, pants, you name it. My mom used to have a store my mom used to have a store in Divisoria, close to like a bit. I have to ask my sister, but Tutuban area, that area. But my mom had a store in Divisoria, and then my mom also had a store in Baclaran. Yeah, my mom at the time back in the 70s, she had a contract with Alpha, was the textile company that provided my mom with like the material. Alpha was the name. I don't know if Alpha still exists, but they would like rolls and rolls of textile material. My mom would turn them into dresses, pajamas, you name it. And she would sell at her two stores in Baclaran and also in Divisoria. So my mom made good money back in the 70s. She was a businesswoman. Um, because my mom was a businesswoman, she would always take tours, like in Southeast Asia. She would take tours in Thailand, Singapore, all that. And she took a tour. She took me to the United States on a tour, just on a tourist visa. And my mom met my stepdad, Earl, American. He's American. And they got married. They got married. And that's how I got a green card. I got a green card when I went to school at Long Beach High School. And then when I was 17, I joined the military. I joined the United States Air Force. One of the goals was to get my citizenship. I wanted to become a United States citizenship. And the recruiter told me, hey, join the military. In a few years, you'll get your United States citizenship. So I said, all right, sounds good. So I did. And I did. 2.5 years later, I became a United States citizen after joining the military. And I ended up serving 20 years in the military because I enjoyed the military. I enjoyed the camaraderie, the brotherhood, sisterhood that we had in the military. It's like I met another family. The military is like a family. You're like bonded forever. The guys I went to basic training with, my first assignment, they're my friends to this day. That's why. So that's my story. I guess my short story. That's my life story. How I got to America. And then when I retired from the military, I got a military pension. I worked a few years at St. Mary's Hospital in Tucson. And then at 45, I decided to move back to the Philippines. Here in Aklan, I moved to Boracay first, now here in Numancia. And I've been here 14 years, just enjoying retirement life. I never worked here. I don't think I'm supposed to work here. I'm a citizen of the Philippines, so I guess I could because I'm a citizen of the Philippines, but never had to. My military pension is more than enough to live here. Sandra Horn, all right. Great, hey, great. Gino has been beating me up on retiring. He is an excellent retirement coach. A terrible wingman. Hey, I admit that, man. I'm a terrible wingman. But fantastic at helping me assimilate into doing less and achieving more. And that's what I keep telling Gray. He needs to just start enjoying retirement. You don't have to, when I say retirement, it's not like you got to give up your life or start just laying in the couch and not doing anything. To me, retirement is doing the things that you enjoy, the things that you want, spending more time with family, doing your hobbies, reading the books that you like to read, exercising, owning your time is basically what retirement is for me. It doesn't mean you're retiring, you're not doing anything anymore. I have friends that retired and they seem like they do more in retirement than they were when they were working for a company. It's just different dynamic when you work for a company, you work for another person, than owning your time. When you're retired, you own your time, you get to do what you enjoy. OB Olsen, I feel that the subdivision life is best for expats and anyone who wants to feel more secure. Yes, I have. That was part of the reason why I selected the community, the gated community, Olsen, because security. I never have to worry about my security here. We moved here in 2016, 9 years. Not one incident of somebody breaking into my house, somebody taking any of my things here. Not a single act. I mean, Leanna's left her bike outside our gate, and nobody will take. I never have to worry about people taking my stuff. There's security here at the gate. When people come in at the gate, if they're not a resident, they have to leave their ID. I just like that order. Kind of reminds me of the military, right? It's like Olson's also a retired Air Force. In the military, it gives me the same security when I lived at the military base. That's what the gated community feels like to me. And I like the order. I like the order. I like how, we have rules. No karaoke after 9 p.m. It's like strictly enforced. It's like I never hear karaoke here past 9 p.m. No burning of trash. That's big here in the province. If you live in any of the provinces here in Panay Island, Iloilo, Capiz, Antique, or Aklan, they burn trash here. It's like a lot of people that live outside the gated community, they'll just burn trash, including plastics, so that's not good, right? You don't want to be around that. So in the community here, you're not allowed to do that. Just like the following of rules, we segregate our trash here, plastic, paper, bottles, we recycle. I like that. I like that. Outside the community, there's no. It's kind of like the wild west is what I call it. It's like anything goes, anything goes. I mean, there's good and bad with that. Nobody telling you what to do. I know some people like that. So it just depends on what you prefer. What you prefer. But me, I prefer the gated community. I like the security. And I used to love our swimming pool. We used to have a swimming pool, man. So almost a year now we don't have a swimming pool because we have HOA issues about payment and the cost of maintaining the swimming pool. Hopefully they can revive it. We have a new board of directors here. Hopefully next summer, this coming March 2026, we will have our swimming pool back. Because I miss our swimming pool. I love swimming and doing laps on our swimming pool all the time. I think we would have to make our house secured, like a maximum prison, just to feel. And that's the thing, that's the thing, OB. Like, look at our house here. Look at my gate, OB. Somebody can just jump my gate, I got a low fence, I don't have barbed wires, right? And I see those, when people, like, I see expats here sometimes, they build like a big property, swimming pool, nice property. But with that, they end up building like a fence. And then some of them, even the wire, Constantine wire to protect the property. Hope, I'm sure they probably need some guns. It's like, expats not supposed to own guns here, but, just to protect your stuff, right? To me, if you're living outside a gated community, and you're living along the locals, and you build like a big mansion, for me, just kind of like a big bullseye on you, because like they know you got money, they know you got like SUVs coming in and out of your compound. So like you said, Olson, it feels like like a prison, like a maximum type prison. It doesn't feel like a home. It's like, for me, you see our neighborhood, it feels like a neighborhood. In the afternoon, there's kids here riding their bikes along. We're waving at them. People walking their dogs. To me, that it just feels more like a neighborhood. If you build like a big mansion outside, your neighbor could be like living in a nipa hut, or you might have a nice house, but your surrounding might not be very nice. So, it kind of, you might end up being a target. We are a senior 55 plus. Lots of rules too. Oh, all right, Joe. My friend Raquel and Don, when I met them in Boracay this week, they were talking about that, how they live in a 55 plus place in Atlanta, near Atlanta, Georgia, and they say there it's a lot of rules like HOA. They're actually it's funny. The only reason that they're still there, they split their time between the Philippines and Georgia. The only reason they're there is because of their dog. They had like two dogs. One had passed away. Both dogs are like older dogs. Nearing of unfortunately nearing. The one dog that's left is nearing like 15, 16 years old already. So the minute their dog moves on, passes away, they're planning to live here full time in the Philippines because they've checked into like traveling with the dog here, but it might be too much for the dog, and they're just like waiting, pretty much waiting. And I understand that because I'm like that with our dogs. I love the two. Totoy and Chloe. I love my dogs. It was amazing when I was going through my treatments. My dogs were always on my mind. Dazzle was with me, of course, in Iloilo City going through the treatments. But I was always thinking, I wonder how Chloe is. I know she misses. I was thinking of my dogs. And I was going through cancer treatments, and I'm glad my family here in the Philippines, Dazzle's family, took care of my dogs while I was gone. Vincent Santos. Hey, Vincent Santos. Hello, Shaka, brother. Thank you, Gino. All right, James. Stay safe, brother. Stay safe. OB, I know lots of expats that live way out in the province. I'm with one that has 3 fishing boats, basically an off-grid situation. Yeah, that's the beauty of the Philippines. It's like you can live as modern as you can at BGC. You can live in like a penthouse in BGC, swimming pool. You can have a gym, but you can also live off grid where you need like solar power and a Starlink to have communication with the world. You got that available to you when you move here, and like with anybody anywhere else. I'm sure that's available too in the United States. Belus, Belus lives in Wyoming, and he's out there in God's country, man. He's like got a small, tiny house set up, beautiful land area. You have choices. Have choices like that. He has been here on the beach in Masbate a few years now and loves it. Yeah, it's like that's one thing I've learned, it's like here in the Philippines, you can find the life that you want. And a lot of times at a cheaper cost, a more affordable cost. Like Michael, beachfront property, almost like a private island, it's like, where can you do that? In the United States, that would be hard to find. You can find it, but you're gonna have to have money. Here, it's more affordable to do things like that. Vincent, I love places like that. Just peaceful. Yes. And even here, it's just peaceful here. That's what I like. Now it's like pouring now. It's like more rain now. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. This roof I have here. It's like a plastic roof, like thick plastic roof, a polycarbonate, I think, whatever it's called. But it makes sound, when water hits it. Hi James, that's brave of them, but I bet it's such a peaceful way of living. I mean, Michael is like, they need dinner. He's throwing out nets out in the ocean, bringing the nets and start catching fish. How like that's like really like living off grid. Living off grid. My brain doesn't work well. Your brain doesn't work. Me, I'm a morning person, as you can see. Everybody knows. My brain. I get up in the morning. I'm like fired up, and then I'm like this until lunchtime. Eat lunch, and then by after lunch by 1 p.m. I'm like crash. I'm taking a nap. Man. Vegas Will, hello Vegas Will. OB, we are at his house now. He and this a peaceful life. The fishing can be pretty exciting though. I know, right? It's like, I know for Dazzle, if we move at a place like that, James, Dazzle would love it. She would love the fishing. That would be, she would be sold on that really easy, that kind of lifestyle because of the fishing. That's one thing that I will miss is my bayliner, 18-foot bayliner. We love fishing and boating too. Fishing is so awesome there in the Philippines. We went to a charter. Hey, you don't have to miss it also because you're gonna have a boat made. Get you a bangka, man. Get yourself a boat made, man. And you know construction. You're like a do-it-yourself guy, man. Get yourself a boat close enough place to where you live, where you decide to live here in the Philippines, and just have somebody wash your boat. Every time you need the boat, I mean, if you can find people that do that here also, and the boats here aren't expensive. I mean, they're not the fancy, they're not the fancy 18-foot bayliner. It would be like made of wood, made of bamboo. But hey, man, it's still a boat, right? Put double engine in there. That way, if one engine shuts, you got another engine. I know, like Michael, he's got 3 fishing boats, man. You can get a fishing boat here. Actually, Dazzle was trying to talk me into that, Olsen. Like when we were living in Malay, right there on the beach. She's like, babe, I want one of those boats. And I was like, babe, we don't need a boat. But maybe someday, when we move to Boracay Island, our land in Katiklan is a 5-minute walk to the beach. So a boat is really doable. We just need the money. We just need the money. And once I get my Social Security, those are the things that, I wouldn't mind, getting for Dazzle someday. That way she can enjoy her fishing more. Karen and Dazzle love fishing too. I know, Dazzle's all about the fishing, man. I think, the Filipina province girls, man, it seemed like they're into fishing. I have yet to meet a Filipina province girl that doesn't like fishing. Filipinas just, here in the province, they just love it because they love to eat it for one. And what I like about Dazzle and even Leanna's 12, she already knows how to clean fish. She already like knows how to descale them, gut them. They're not afraid to do that. So, they're not like, I know if you. I'm not all. I'm sure there's city girls. I'm sure there's people in Manila that know how to clean fish too. But most of the time, when you meet like the city girls that live in BGC and stuff, they're not gonna be cleaning fish. They're not gonna be taking their hand and get inside the fish, remove the guts. I just don't see that with them because they got fancy nails sometimes. That ruin their nails. It's different. Like. The province girls here. Dazzle grew up raising goats, taking care of pigs. Dazzle's job when she was growing up as a kid, she was a little kid, she had to clean the pig pen. She had to clean the pig, wash the pig pen, sweep it with the walisting thing. Dazzle would do that growing up. So, all the fishing, all the, if she has to like, kill a chicken, dress a chicken, Dazzle can do that. Most province women can do that. Because that's what they grew up doing that. It's common for them. It's normal for them. So happy for you, James. Hope you don't get any more of your coconuts and shovels taken by the. Oh yeah, I know, man. That's terrible. That's the thing. Because that would happen. Unfortunately, anywhere you go, Olsen, there's just bad people, right? It's like I remember when they stole up in the mountains, James, they stole the corn, stuff like that, man. It's like unfortunate, but there's just there's people that take advantage of good people sometimes. If they build that bridge, Guimaras land will be expensive. It's pretty cheap. Yes, I agree, James. That's why, a lot of the expat friends that I have, like in Nabas, Aklan, they used to build beach houses in Nabas. I have a couple of my expat friends from the U.S. They built a nice beachfront, 500 square meter lot with swimming pool and everything right on the beach. the builder, the expat builder that was building homes in Nabas, he's now in Guimaras because he was thinking the same thing, James. He was thinking like the new territory, the better territory, cheaper land, and then to construct is in Guimaras. So he moved to Guimaras. He's building beach houses now in Guimaras instead of come anytime, we leave Friday. Oh, my friend Elmer. That's why he's building houses now in Guimaras, beach houses in Guimaras instead of Nabas, Aklan, because he was thinking the same thing. The bridge being built, he's thinking that's gonna be the next booming place here would be in Guimaras, since land there is so cheap right now. My friend Elmer, he just messaged me. Elmer and his wife, they're from Kentucky, but they're always coming to Boracay. They come to Boracay at least twice a year. Elmer's a doctor, so he can afford. Elmer's got a bank, but he just made it to Boracay last night. He goes, come over anytime. We'll be here till Friday. But I'm looking at the weather. I'm like, I don't mind going to Boracay on a day trip to meet people, but like when it's like this and raining, it's like I don't like driving. Like that even that short trip from here, Numancia to Aklan, it only takes me like an hour and 15 minutes. But when it rains like this, lots of accidents, unfortunately, in Aklan province. The drivers here, they don't slow down, especially like the series buses, the public transportation buses, the yellow, blue buses. Also like the van, there's vans that travel here. The vans are public transportation. It's usually from Calibo to Boracay to Aklan, about 150 pesos, 200 pesos per person. Man, even when it's raining, the roads are wet, they are flying on the highway. So they make me nervous. That's why when it's raining like this, I don't really like to travel much, like in Aklan, even in Panay Island. I just try to stay home. A lot more accidents, unfortunately, when it's raining like this, because people don't know how to slow down here when it's raining. Hey, Daniel, my good friend in Jacksonville, Florida. There he is, Gino and gang of the Panay Posse. Hey, Daniel. Hey, man, I'm waiting for my text from my T-shirt person. My T-shirt person is letting me down, Daniel, because it's like I went there to get our Panay Posse shirt, and I stopped there the other day and said, "I'll text you, sir, when it's ready." I'm not getting a text. She is working on island time, but it's all good. I wasn't gonna give her a hard time. I told her, yeah, just text me whenever the T-shirts are done. But I'm excited to like show you guys the T-shirt. But it is what it is, man. Everything in the Philippines move on island time. Ooh, Mom and Leanna, I don't know if they're gonna be able to make that. I gave them a fare to come home because Mom said she doesn't know how long her church is gonna be this morning. They were just gonna ride a tricycle, and I told them, bring an umbrella. They said, oh, we don't need an umbrella. She goes, we don't need an umbrella. And I'm like looking, they definitely needed an umbrella, man. It's like, but they're not texting me. They're not texting me to pick them up, because I can pick them up if they text me. Fortune, happy Sunday, church day, man. Enjoy church day. Mom and Leanna right now, they're at church. I told them to bring an umbrella, and I could pick them up actually, but I'm not receiving a text message from them, so I'm sure they're just gonna take a tricycle. Their church is not far from here. A church is only like maybe 2 kilometers away from our house, but it's raining now, and I know they didn't bring an umbrella because before we left the house, I told Mom, aren't you going to bring an umbrella? She said, oh, no, it's not going to rain. I'm like, it's raining. I'm like, it's raining, Mom. It's raining. Hello, Daniel and Fortune. Hope you are having a great week. Yeah, hope everyone is having a great weekend. Here in the Philippines, it's a 3-day weekend. Monday is a national holiday here. National Heroes Day. For celebrating all the heroes of the Philippines, Jose Rizal, all the heroes. So no work. So Fortune has a 3-day weekend. He's no work on Monday for Fortune. Just done watching Gino Boracay day trip. All right, Mas Matib. All right. I'll have to catch up. I was last night. I was watching Rhea and Roy. You know, Rhea and Roy. They're doing the LDR right now. Roy is like moving in into that A-frame like a caravan thing. You know, where you pull it. He found a piece of land, so he's setting that up. So today I'm watching James and Karen after the live stream. I'll catch up. You know, I'll catch up on James and Karen's videos. Yesterday I was catching up on Rhea and Roy because I love those guys too, man. Rhea and Roy are good people, man. Roy's a good guy. You know, I wanted to support him. I know that was tough with Max and Nelia going to Russia, and now he's working in Australia. His fiance, you know, here in the Philippines. I mean, that's like rough, man. You know, Roy, you know, that takes a strong man to, you know, but he's putting it all together. I know he's gonna make it happen. You know, I met him in person. Roy's a good guy. You know, it's like genuine guy. Rooting for him. You know, praying and rooting for Roy and his family. That's why I like watching them. I like supporting them because I met them. You know, real genuine people. You know, it's like. Michael has built many. Oh, I know, Fortune. You know, that solar system is like amazing. You know, I'm trying to learn as much as I can with that solar system. I want to do a similar, but a budget. I don't want to exceed 100,000 pesos. That's my limit. You know, if I can go cheaper, I don't need a full solar system for the house. I mean, we live in a tiny house. But I do like the idea of like having that option, like to run fans, maybe the refrigerator, you know, to run a refrigerator, and then save on our own electricity. If I can drop my Akelco electric bill a little bit, you know, in no time, I should be able to recoup the money from the budget solar system. That's why I'm interested. That's why I've been watching the videos that James and Karen with Michael explaining how I'm learning so much about solar power. I can't wait till James comes back because I'm sure James is gonna set something solar power at his house. So, you know, I get to see it in person and I'll see what he will order. So I'll probably just copy what James is copying, you know, all the brands available here to buy at Lazada. Yeah, fishing, solar power, farming, livestock. Good day, Daniel. Been retired for 20 years and not 1 minute have I been bored. Yeah. You know, people ask me all the time that, Daniel, I've been here 14 years in the Philippines. I've never been bored here. You know, it's like, but there's days like this day, Daniel, it's raining. More likely, we're just gonna stay in the house all day, watch Netflix. To me, that's fun too. You know, it's like I can catch up on my Netflix today. JNOV, all right. Honest and sad truth. I am like lots of folks, paying the most dollars to live in the worst condition. No worries, Daniel. We will change that dynamic for you, brother. You know, it's like, and I will help you. I will help you with that, Daniel. We'll make sure you have better living conditions here, good friends that you can hang out here, fishing buddies. You know, I know you're going to be fishing buddies with Dazzle. You know, I know you guys will be searching for fishing holes here in Panay Island. Will be huge improvements. Yeah, safe. Yeah, and I know what that feels like, Daniel. It's just good when, you know, we have retirement, we have pension, we have money that's coming in. It's just good when you're getting good value for it, right? You know, it's like, to me, that's what I enjoy about the Philippines, is because when I go to the public market and I'm buying fresh fish, fresh fruits, vegetables, I'm just getting good value. You know, it's like, I don't feel like I'm getting ripped off. You know, it's a good feeling, you know. Like even my pandesal, you know, I'm eating pandesal. This is 5 pesos each. I can get a bag of pandesal for $1. Freshly cooked pandesal every morning. My 3-in-1 coffee, you know. it's the simple things that I enjoy here. It's like the affordability of retirement here is what I feel like I'm getting my money's worth. The little pension I get, I feel like I'm getting the most value out of it. I know how you feel, Daniel. How you're paying hundreds of dollars for storage, right? You're going like, you're just storing my stuff. How come I have to pay hundreds of dollars? Here in the Philippines, hundreds of dollars. That's rent. That's your rent here. Oh, Brian, I got a message from Brian. This messages always pops on my screen, like my messenger, my WhatsApp. It's like TextPat, my friend in Galveston County. He just messaged me. He said he got a new phone. He got a new phone. Fortune, if you like Pinoy fishing vlogs, I suggest you watch Buhay Isla vlog. They fish on the coast. Yeah, my friend Stevie, Fortune. Stevie lives in Washington State. He's gonna be here. He's gonna live here for a few months, starting November. Here in Aklan, he's gonna move here in Aklan. But he likes those fishing videos. He's always sending me all these Filipino vloggers that like catches like big squid or big fish. He's always sending me. So I do watch them because of my friend Stevie. Boracay is paradise. Stayed 10 days. Oh, Red Coconut. All right, right. I know where Red Coconut is by near D Mall. Near D Mall. We have stayed at Red Coconut before. Nice restaurant, swimming pool, and then the hotel. Oh yeah, I always tell people. For me, Boracay is my happy place, and I know in a few years here, once I get my Social Security, for sure, we're gonna move to Boracay, or our land will build something on our land, because our land's like in the Tabon area of the mainland. It's a 15-minute ferry. The beach is like 5 minutes from our land, so we can build something. But we'll for sure be around Boracay more in 3 years. Gino, have any of you ever eaten coconut crab? I haven't, but I know what you're talking about. It's those gigantic crabs that like, the coconut crab they call. I have not eaten one, but I've seen one live. And Boracay actually at Angol Beach, there used to be like a patch of like coconut trees there, and I used to see coconut crab walking there. They're gigantic, man. They grow like massive, but I've never eaten them. And now I can't eat them, Daniel, unfortunately, because I'm allergic to shellfish now. But you will see them here. You'll see a coconut crab here. I'll make sure we find the area where they have coconut crabs at, so you can check them out live, live in person. I don't know if you can eat them. It's like, I'm sure they'll let you. It's like in the Philippines, anything seafood, anything like that, they'll cook it. So I'm sure we can find you that you can taste what a coconut crab. I'm sure it tastes delicious because they eat coconut. They eat the pulp. They eat the pulp of the coconut, so they gotta be delicious. Cebu Pacific announces that Manila Iloilo vice versa will now use A330 planes. Those, wow, 400 seat. Oh, there's Mom and Leanna from church. It's raining and they don't have an umbrella. There's Leanna. They just come home from church. Did you get wet? Huh? Di naman? See, they just came home from church. All right, you guys don't want to get wet out here. All right. They made it home. In the rain without an umbrella. The bicycle took them home here. Wow, that's good, man. That's a lot of passengers, Fortune. 400 seater. I know they can fill those. I mean, people like I know Manila especially. There's so much in Iloilo, and when they come here from Iloilo, you can visit Guimaras Island, you can go to Bacolod, you can go to Boracay, Roa City. There's just so much, you know. I know, like I said, once they build the bridges here, they're also building like an above highway here in Panay Island from Iloilo City to Boracay. Right now, it takes about 5 hours, 5, 6 hours to drive that. They're building an elevated expressway. San Miguel Corporation is building it. It's going to have a toll. You know, it's not going to be free, but it's going to cut travel from Iloilo City to Aklan to 2 hours. So that's going to make Boracay, all those areas, boom even more once people from Iloilo City can just travel to Boracay in 2 hours. So, man, that's awesome, though. Thank you, Fortune. Oh, I know a lot of people are going to Iloilo, man. Iloilo is like a hot spot, man. So Iloilo is a hot spot here in the Philippines. More flights now from Iloilo direct. They just started within the last 6 months. They have direct flights now to Bicol. Bicol, like where Mayon volcano is. They have a direct flight to Bohol, Panglao, Bohol. Direct flight to Dumaguete. Direct flight. I mean, there's just direct flight even overseas. Direct flight to Thailand, direct flight to Singapore from Iloilo City. So, man, Iloilo City is just booming, you know. Like I've mentioned many times on the live stream here, it's the best city in the Philippines. And it's just going to keep getting better. I am going to church this PM. I got my, all right, letter requesting us to be one. Oh, okay, sponsors. All right. So you're going to be like speaking in the... Fortune, I have a question for you. Do you know if they have creon and cholesterol over there? Need to make sure my medical reason. All right, you know, Obi. Fortune's wife is an ER doctor, over 20 years ER doctor. So we got a good source. Glad you guys are connecting, man. Glad you guys are connecting. Will revert OB will ask Chi. All right. And for we can all be. I'm sure you guys are. You guys friends in Facebook now or WhatsApp? You know, because I communicate with Olson. I communicate with Fortune on Messenger and WhatsApp. So you guys get connected, and that way you get that information. Next weekend is a 3-day weekend. Labor Day. All right, that's right. September already. That's like Labor Day in the U.S. Thank you so much, brother. All right. We'll chat here on live streams. All right. You can message me too. Message it to me, Fortune. I can get it to Olson. KR Ching. All right. Like others, every time I go shopping, food, it's like I am getting beat up. Prices just, oh man. Here, you won't get that. Daniel, because inflation here doesn't hit hard like what I'm seeing in the United States, especially in the province of Aklan. You know, a lot of the vegetables, a lot of the fruits that we get here in Aklan province, they're locally. You know, they're where James and Karen live, Balete. That's like, man, they got like the best produce there. The best fruits come out of Balete. I guess because of the land, of such a fertile land there. The prices just don't go up. You know, bananas, plantain bananas, mangoes, you name it, cabbage, carrots, potatoes. It just doesn't raise in prices. Eggs, I can buy a dozen eggs here. How much? Maybe less than $2 for large jumbo. I buy the jumbo eggs. Less than $2 for a dozen eggs. So I know what you're going through, Daniel. I know, that's frustrating when you got a pension and you're trying to, make your pension last, and they keep hammering you, like raising prices in you. That here, you just feel blessed here because you're like, man, your money's going further. You're able to eat out. It's like yesterday, Daniel. I don't know if you watched the live stream at Exam with your mom, Dazzle, Liana, and I, and we took our friend from Atlanta. We had a big bowl of pancit canton, enough for all of us. Enough for all of us. A basket of fried chicken and lumpia and our drinks, right? $18. $18 is what we paid for the food, including the cabana. The cabana comes free because we ordered food from them. So you can kind of see how, even when we go out, even when we do fun stuff, it doesn't cost much. When James and Karen, when we took them to the river, to Malumpati River, that river tour, the guy carrying the inner tube, walking us through the jungle, the vest, the helmet, the inner tube, that whole tour, that whole experience on the river, 250 pesos per person, $4.50. Man, when you go to an attraction in the US, that's you pay more for parking. If you go to Disneyland, you pay $20, $25 for parking. You're not even in the place yet, and it's all natural, Daniel. It's all like jungle. It's all like clean water on the river, and people are just happy. You can see on the video, it's like even the tour guides, they're happy of the work they're doing. Everybody's laughing, everybody's smiling. It's like you'll get to experience that, Daniel. We'll take you to all that stuff when you get here. I am totally with you, Daniel. I just visited one of my favorite Chinese buffet in New York, and the go-to box shrunk significantly. Man, I used to love those, man. Chinese buffet were my favorite when I was in Tucson, Olson. Me and you are alike, man. I like the fried rice, the egg roll, and the char siu pork. Some of the, I'm sure it's the same. It's the same buffet. Shrunk significantly, and the price is nearly doubled. We have a good, the Lanang, where I've had two of my birthday now, back to back, at Lanang Chinese restaurant. That's my favorite here in the Calibo, because it's got that same taste of like the Chinese buffet in the US that I remember. That's why I love eating at Lanang. That 400 seat plane should hold. I know, right? It's great, there's room on that plane for the Panay Posse, man. There's room for that. My top choice is Iloilo. You have an island and a city. BGC doesn't impress me. Feels like that's the way I feel. That's the way I feel. And I couldn't afford BGC anyway. It's like I'm on a budget retirement. When I came here, it's like I came here on my military pension alone, and still do pretty much, a little bit of income now from YouTube. But BGC is outside my budget. That's expensive to live there. Everything there is expensive, not just the housing. If you got to go grocery shopping, eating out at BGC, grocery shopping there will cost you 25 to 30% more than here in the province. So I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford BGC anyway. That's not even in my, I don't even look at that as a possible place to live. And then feels like being in the States anyway. Good morning, hello. Hey, hello, good morning, good morning. True that. You could stretch your money. Yes. Easy here in the province to stretch money. I mean, people here in the province, when you go to the Philippines, the minimum wage for workers in the Philippines, in the city, is a lot more than the minimum wage in the province. And then a lot of times the employers here in the province, they don't even pay the minimum wage. They even go below it. So for the province people here, they can't afford a lot. That's why the prices here stay low, because like nobody will, if you sell something here at a high price, you're gonna go out of business. Nobody can afford it. Province people, they're pretty frugal. That's a good word for the people here in the province, because why would people here spend money for fruits and vegetables that are high price when most people here got planted? Most people in the province got produce or fruits in their house or on their land. Even here at Camellia, on the vacant lots, we can always get like green papaya here, or we can always get malunggay leaves, or we can always get like that, I forget the name, but there's always stuff planted on the vacant lots here. That's like a free for all. You know, it's like first come first serve. Food is very cheap here, especially if you learn to like Pinoy food. Yes. Oh yeah, Leanna liked the lumpia, man. Leanna was like eating all the lumpia. We got like it's like she went through like five lumpia, but she was swimming too. She was just, I'll give her that. She was swimming too. She was quick to eat some of that lumpia. Yeah, if you learn to, I always say that too, Fortune, for expats when they move here. If you learn to eat Filipino food, definitely you'll save money here. But I know not everybody. I know there's some picky eaters, and nothing wrong with being a picky eater. I understand, you in the U.S. some people are just used to steak and potatoes. Steak and potatoes. So eating like pinakbet. That's kind of like, ooh, that's a big step from eating steak and potatoes to eating pinakbet. Pinakbet is like a Filipino vegetable dish, sometimes with pork or shrimp, but it's got bitter melon, it's got eggplant, it's got string beans, it's got sometimes they put the bagoong, the fermented shrimp on it. So I mean that's a giant step to eat that meal compared to like steak and potatoes. So I understand. That's why not everybody quickly like assimilates to Pinoy food, Filipino food, but you can start out easy. You can ease yourself to Filipino food. You can just, I think chicken adobo, most Americans, that's easy transition to Filipino food. Lumpia, because most Americans eat egg roll in the U.S. There's several types of lumpia, vegetable lumpia, ubod lumpia. Start out easy. In the U.S. I remember lumpia in the U.S. a lot of times is with bean sprouts. They have that here. They have that bean sprouts lumpia here. So you can ease into like Filipino food. Find the ones that you like. You don't have to eat all the Filipino foods. I do know some Filipino foods are intimidating. It's like, especially like there's a lot of Filipino foods that use the organ meat. Organ meat like dinuguan. It's got pork blood. It's got the organs of the pork. You got bopis, the lungs, So there's like food like that could be really intimidating. But, try to find the ones that a lot of similarity to like, fried chicken. Filipino fried chicken. Filipino fried chicken, when I say Filipino fried chicken, a lot of Filipino fried chicken, they don't bread it. They just fry the chicken, so it's usually just salt. You can taste the salt and pepper on fried chicken. But in the US, it's big like that, the coating on the chicken. Filipino chicken usually, like if it's cooked like at somebody's house, they just fry the chicken without the flour or without the breading. OB, retired in early 2000s. I remember a king size Snicker, 50 ounce. Now three. Whew, wow, $4? Wow, man, that is expensive, man. You will love Iloilo. You won't miss the West much, but you will also like the local life. Yeah, they have direct flights to Hong Kong, Singapore. Yeah, I know, right? I know. Iloilo, man, to me, it's just like, I love going to Iloilo. We'll be back in Iloilo again. In October, we'll do a mini staycation in Iloilo. And this trip, we're gonna try to spend a couple of nights in Guimaras Island. Oh, right there, Creon is very much available. Prescription needed. Watson's and Mercury Drug Carry it. All right, there you go. There's the answer, Olson. Where is the most dangerous area in the Philippines? I would probably say the most dangerous probably is in Mindanao, the southern part of the Philippines. I don't go there. I've never been to Mindanao. No plans on visiting Mindanao. There's areas that are safe in Mindanao. Not all of Mindanao is dangerous. You can go to Davao, Cagayan de Oro. Those places are safe. There's expats that live there. But probably the most dangerous, I would probably say like Marawi City in Mindanao. They have a war there. I mean, a war breaks out there, and then it's just bombings and things like that. Mindanao has always been kind of like even the State Department here, the U.S. Embassy. They have a long-standing warning to Americans not to visit Mindanao, areas in Mindanao. Not all, but it's just unfortunate. There's areas in Mindanao that are dangerous. Like I would never go there. It's like there's plenty of places in Luzon, plenty of places in Visayas that I can visit. Lucita, hey Lucita, my friend in Maine, my friend in Maine. Good morning, Gino. I'm enjoying my daughter and family visits. I'm glad to hear, glad to hear. We took them to the Valley Fair and they had such a, that's awesome, that's awesome. Yeah, and man, that's what life is all about, Lucita. Spending time with our family, enjoying. It's like to me, like yesterday was like such a blast. Like that was like such a good family day for us. Head back to Boston. Yeah, I'm sure, man. I'm sure, Lucita, that's so much fun when family. You almost hate when they leave, right? You're almost like, oh man, you guys gotta leave. Diclofenac Sataflam is brand name prescription drug. All right, all right. Thank you, Fortune. There, Olson's getting info on the drugs, prescription drugs, man. I used to know a lot of prescription drugs because I worked. I have 27 years working in hospitals, but that's been a while now. It's been I've been here 14 years now. My memory. I used to know a lot of like we used to get a lot of med reps. Prescription medical representatives that come through our hospital. Giving samples, trying our docs to like prescribe their medicine, so I know, it's like I worked in medical administration, so I had a lot of dealings with drug reps. Areas like BGC not only cost you much higher rent, but food, everything's more expensive in BGC. It's like not for me, Daniel. Like I said, it's above my pay grade. It's above my pay grade. I can't afford that BGC. By Novartis Pharma, available. Oh, and thank you, Fortune. I'm sure Olson appreciates that. Thank you so much, Fortune. That's so great to hear. My worries are all right. Hey, you shouldn't have any worries anyway, Olson. I keep telling you this, brother. You got no worries. People that want to retire or move to the Philippines, Olson, a lot of times their main worry is finances, and you don't got that issue, brother. You're gonna have a great life here. If you can imagine, that I deal with people all the time that they're on a tight budget, tight Social Security, but they're still coming here because they know they have a chance here. It's like that gentleman that I was talking about yesterday. He's getting $2,000 Social Security. He lives in Florida. He was living in boats in Florida, and he said he just can't hack it anymore with $2,000 a month. Living on a boat in Florida, he just can't hack it. That's why he's now in Cebu City. I actually reached out to him yesterday. Haven't gotten a reply, but I just wanted to tell him, hey, if you need any questions or anything, I did reach out. I did reach out to him yesterday, but I haven't gotten a response. But here, I know for $2,000 a month here, that he had in Florida, he will have a much better life here in the Philippines. Man, $2,000 here is like 110,000 pesos a month. Man, if you can't live here in the Philippines for over 100,000 pesos a month, single. If you can't live here in the Philippines with that money, to me, you got to start checking yourself. You need to like something in your DNA or something happening where you got that amount of money here in the Philippines. I mean, you don't see people making that money here. I mean, if you hear somebody, a Filipino, if I tell you a Filipino here in the province makes half of that, If they make 50,000 pesos in the province, they would be ecstatic here. They would be like, people would look up, oh, wow, you make 50,000 a month. They'd be like, where do you work? What do you do? They would be happy for that person if they make 50,000 pesos a month here in the province. And he's making twice that money or more even. Pinakbet, my favorite. One of my favorites too. Pinakbet and mungo. Mungo, my Friday mungo, kind of neck and neck as far as my vegetable dish that I like. And now poke poke. I like poke poke too. It's a Ilocano eggplant dish. Those are like my favorite vegetable dishes. I eat more vegetables now, more than ever. It's just I just love eating vegetables. BGC is worth the visit, but don't live there. It will kill your dollars. Yes, yes. The BGC is like, there's many expats that move to the Philippines on like high budgets, making multiple pensions in the United States, and so they can afford that. So nothing wrong with that, man. If I had multiple pensions and I got unlimited amount of money, it's like, why not? Why not? You can't take your money with you, so might as well spend it. Live the high life. It's next major city, but just like Manila, Iloilo is the best. Yes, Iloilo is the best. I've been to many cities here. It's clean, it's safe, it's bicycle friendly. So many good things going for Iloilo City. Nice people. Some of the friendliest people are like the Ilonggo. The food scene is amazing, like Fortune saying. And the best schools, some of the best schools, nursing schools, doctor school, med schools, some of the best schools, they always score high in like the entrance, like the examinations in the Philippines, like to get their certification or their license. The schools that Iloilo City always scores high on those. Why are most Philippine women so beautiful? It's like to me, beauty is like one of those things. It's subjective. We always look at beauty different, but there are a lot of beautiful women in the Philippines. But it's each person's eyes to what they refer to as beautiful. I mean, there's beautiful people anywhere you go. I think U.S., Canada. There's beautiful people. Living in UK, I had blood pudding. All right, so you've had dinuguan, and Daniel. You stay away from all blood foods. I don't blame you. You don't got to eat you don't got to eat the blood food. It's like, Kuya, have you tried the pig brain dish? It looks like gravy. I don't think I've eaten pig brain, but I have eaten like one time in Manila. They had kind of like a shawarma, and I think it was like goat meat. I think goat meat, and it had brain in it, and I ate it. Tastes like any other meat. The brain, like different texture, but I ate it. It was delicious. It's like I'm not picky. I'm not picky when it comes to food. I can pretty much, except for balut. I don't like balut, man. I'm not a balut fan. I don't. It's like I'll eat the yellow part of the balut, but I'm not gonna eat the little duck, in the balut. Gino, if you have time in Iloilo City and can visit UP Visayas, all right, one street in that rectangular block is Ibierna Street. Hi, your name, Ibiernas. Named after my great-grandfather. Oh, okay, all right. Well, actually, when we lived there, Fortune, we lived at the Uptown Place condominium for 4 months. That's when I lived on General Luna. I know there was a UP there. I'm not sure if that's UP Visayas, but I think it was the high school, like University of Philippines High School, right near, because we would walk from from our condo to like Jollibee, and I would see like kids, University of Philippines ID, and I was like, oh, it's like, oh, there's a University of Philippines here, So next time I go, I might Google. I might Google it, Ibierna Street, man. I might Google it so I know where it's at. So when I'm driving around Iloilo City, I can at least pass by it, take a picture of the street name. My wife left when she was 5. What a culture shock for her, but she had lots of fun. Yeah, same thing with me, man. Like I've mentioned on my story here before, I left the Philippines. I graduated elementary school from Letran College in Intramuros, Manila. All my elementary years from kindergarten to like the 6th grade, all boys Catholic school. I had to wear a uniform. I had like a patch on my uniform, leather shoes. I had leather shoes. Very strict Catholic school in Manila. And I went from that to like public school in Long Beach, California, where people were wearing board shorts, flip flops to school and tank top. I went from like very strict to like kids, like the hallways in the United States of public school. It's chaos. Everybody's like getting to their locker room, getting their books, whatever from their locker in the hallway, and it's like loud noise. Hey, people yelling. In the Philippines, when I went to school, we never left our classroom. In the Philippines, when you're in the elementary school, you're in your classroom. Your locker is underneath the blackboard. So if you need your books, you need your lunch, because we also ate our lunch in a classroom, you get it from your locker underneath the blackboard. It's the teachers that came, like your first class, let's say 7:30. They come into your classroom. When that teacher leaves, the next teacher comes in. We just sat in the classroom for most of the day. And then, we do have restroom break here. It's called CR, comfort room. So we did have time. We had recess. We had time for recess to go outside the classroom at least, play in the playground a little bit. And sometimes at lunch, we did have I know we had a cafeteria in Letran. So if you didn't bring your lunch that day, you can eat at the cafeteria. They allow you to eat. So different dynamic, it's like I went from strict, you can't misbehave. I can't be running around the hallway or anything like that. We had like, back in the 70s, teachers were allowed to smack you. I mean, don't like hit you or nothing, but they used to carry like sticks. And if you're like fidgety in your classroom or, you're doing something, they'll like smack you in the hand with a stick. And you're like, oh, you did something wrong when you get smacked, So I went from that to like, high school in the U.S. High school in the U.S. is like a free-for-all, man. But it was fun. It was a great experience for me too. 2,000, you can have a good life. At 1,000 and save, right? Right, Fortune? It's like easily can live on 1,000 and save the other 1,000. Build yourself a nice medical emergency fund. That's what I would recommend to that gentleman coming from Florida. Say rent 20K, that leaves 35K. You won't spend 1,000 per day. If you do that, that's all. I know, right? I know. It's like I lived in Boracay, man. Boracay was like, my first 18 months in Boracay, my rent was 10,000 pesos, and I don't spend when I lived in Boracay more than 1,000 pesos a day on food. Because I ate at Carinderia, I cooked my own food, I got invited to people's houses, That's my plan. That's my plan. Very good at that decision, Daniel. NPC is popular. All right, I'll have to look it up now. Man, you guys got me curious now about this pig brain dish. I'll try it. I always try. I don't just like not eat. I mean, but except for balut, except for balut. Good morning. It's also rainy and gloomy. All right, Tanya. Yeah, today it looks like it's gonna be like a rest day, watch Netflix kind of day for us here. Puso, hanging rice. I've eaten the puso of the banana tree. I've eaten that. I like that. I like that uh, that vegetable. The food is what I look forward to the most over there. Fresh produce and meats, not having all the yes, yes, Like us, man, like for lunch, we're always like right now we can go to the market, buy everything fresh and then cook it for lunch. That's like our normal routine here, Olsen. All right, I'm getting to the 2 hour mark, so I'm gonna speed up here on the comments. I always try to keep it at 2 hours, not more because I don't want to take up any more of your time. SL will going to Schwab, travel, vacation fund, base Medicare. Oh, you'll be good here, man. I don't see any problems for you here, funding your retirement here, Daniel. You will enjoy it here because you will enjoy like how the cost of living. I think you're gonna see how your money will stretch here, and I think you're gonna enjoy that about the Philippines. That's it. The UP Visayas original. See, that's original. That's what I thought, man. It's on General Luna. It's on General Luna near our Uptown Place condominium. So that became the high. Oh, okay. So I've seen it. I've seen it. I thought I did. I thought I did, Fortune. The main building that was the old Iloilo. It's a museum now. Okay. Is it true that most Filipino people know and speak English? Um, See, most Filipinos, if they attend school here, even public school, elementary public school, high school public school, um, they have English. And then most of the instruction, even in public school, a lot of English, like the science class, things like that. But it just depends on the area. Of course, if you go in the city, everybody pretty much speaks English if you go to the city. Now, in the province, it's a different dynamic when you go to the province. Because just think about this. A lot of province people are farmers, are fishermen, that go out in the ocean. Education's not a big thing to them. Graduating elementary or graduating high school, some do, but some don't, because their life is like the farm. Their life is living in the mountain or living like in a fishing town. So to them, if you go to those areas, you might struggle speaking English. But out of all the Southeast Asian countries, I can tell you this: the Philippines speak more English than any countries here. Maybe Singapore, maybe a little bit but we speak better English than South Koreans, than Japanese, than Thailand, than all these other countries. There's more English-speaking people here. OB, you will just miss the lettuce. It's more in Baguio, but you will get. I did too, Fortune. I missed the lettuce, but now it's like lettuce is like there's only one variety of lettuce, unfortunately, but there is more now. Like a lot of them are like I see it here in our province. They're aquaculturing it. They have these plastic pipes and they put holes on it, and the lettuce grows on it. So I can buy lettuce now. I can even go to Save More grocery now in Calibo and buy lettuce. 35 pesos, about 75 cents for they put them in a cup, right? It's funny how they sell it it's in a cup. There's actually soil in it. In the lettuce, there's a lettuce sprout. So I can make salad. I usually do lettuce, tomato, red onion, and cucumber. That's my salad that I make here. It's improving, lettuce is improving, fresh vegetables. But like I said, Filipinos aren't much into fresh vegetables. They like to cook their vegetables here. They have Wagyu. Yeah, they got Wagyu. I haven't had that actually. Angus, I think I've had Angus, but I don't think I've had Wagyu yet. English is the medium of instruction in schools. I do love lettuce, Fortune. I will find a way. Ha ha. You will, OB. It's becoming more and more public markets sell lettuce now than 14 years ago when I got here. 14 years ago when I got to Aklan, I couldn't find lettuce, man. But now more and more. Celery too. I'm finding more and more celery now too. And kids from middle class grow to speaking English first before they learn the local language. Oh yeah, it's like I noticed that Fortune, like at Kumon, all the kids at Kumon speak English. It's like when I go, I like that for Leanna because now Leanna's not going to be afraid to speak in English. All the kids there. I mean, there's like 2 dozen kids there, and they're all speaking English. So Leanna's going to be exposed more to like English speaking kids. I eat keto. I'm not familiar with keto. I gotta read up on that also, on that keto. Yeah, SNR's got all the meats, man. All the meats, all the American stuff. Have a nice day. All right, have a nice day. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Joe. Ibirna Street. Oh, okay, so I'll find that. I'll just Google map it. Ibirna Street. I'll Google map it. I'm sure I passed it before if it's in General Luna. That's I used to drive General Luna Street all the time in our car. Take care, everyone. All right, take care, everyone. Have a great rest of the weekend. All right. All right, no worries. God bless. God bless, Olsen, Aliyah, and Isaiah. Hello, hello, Isaiah. If you go to the city or the town poblacion, they speak English, but the outskirts, the hills, mountains, they speak less. Yeah, it's like because anytime you're in the city in the Philippines, English, everybody understands you English if you live in the city. It's when you start getting remote provinces, is when you're not going to see a lot of English speaking people. They'll try. I mean, don't get me wrong. They'll try. Most Filipinos are proud when they can speak English, man. Good day. All right. All right. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. Rest of your 3-day weekend, Fortune. In the U.S., it's only Saturday there. So please enjoy everyone's weekend. Thank you for being in the live stream this morning. I appreciate always the support. Take care, everyone.